I have finally landed back on Earth. United, Manchester United, Michael Carrick have brought us Manchester United fans back to reality today. 2-1 away at St. James Park against Newcastle. Against 10 men, by the way. Let's emphasize that fact. Against 10 men. Manchester United today lost 2-1 against 10 men away. St. James Park, we all know it's never the easiest place to go and play. But this is completely unacceptable. At times in the second half, it looked like we were the team that were 10 men down, that were 1 man down, that was playing with 10 people. What was that performance? Abysmal. One of the worst performances this season. And I've seen Ruben Amorim. I've seen Ruben Amorim against Everton. And I could say this is up there with one of the worst performances in this season. Well, let's just start off with the first half. What happened? United never had the ball in the first half. Even when they had the ball, it was all Cunha. First half, Cunha was amazing. Cunha did everything that he could. I gotta talk about Embuemo today, man. Well, what was he doing? What was he doing? Bruno was making amazing passes. He was creating chances. Bruno, alongside Cunha, you could argue was one of the best players from United today. Embuemo didn't shoot the ball in the second half. And instead of squaring it up for Sesko in one moment for an easy goal, what did he decide to do? He decided to take the shot by himself. And what happened? He also missed an open net today. Like what? What the hell? What? I mean, we knew that we weren't gonna go on an unbeaten run through for this season. We knew there was gonna be a certain point where Manchester United lose, but this is not the way you should be losing. This is Manchester United got completely dominated. Joe Linton and Sandro Tonali ran the show today in the midfield. Now it brings us back to the fact Manchester United's midfield problems. Now it's been found out that this team lacks the physical presence in the midfield. They lack the Tonali. They lack the Joe Linton in the midfield. Kobe Manu and Casemiro, poor performance today. Not good enough at all. You could argue that the season, excluding the Arsenal and Manchester City game, the City game, United's victories haven't been too convincing. Like against, I mean, I've been saying this for the past few games. I'm saying the performances are not convincing, but we're getting the 3 points. We're scraping the wins. Should Michael Carrick be given the permanent job? Because the results aren't too convincing. I've been saying this, and this game just reflects that again. It shows us, it brings us back to reality that okay, scraping those wins, those days are over. Now, what's going to happen when Manchester United loses games like this? I guess Fulham, we were great to be honest in the first half, where I think we got 2 goals in the first half itself. We were good in that first half, but in the second half, we just let Fulham grab the game. We gave them the ball away too much. We didn't keep the ball, and then they scored those 2 goals with Kevin scoring that blinder, obviously, and then Sesko having to score that last minute winner against West Ham. It was a last minute winner to save the day. Against Everton, it was we all know how that game went. It was not great whatsoever. Everton complete. I mean, we got kind of dominated in the first half by Everton. Not a convincing victory whatsoever. And now this brings us back to the fact: can Manchester United, come back from this? What does Michael Carrick have for us? Next game we play Aston Villa at home. I mean, Aston Villa are in poor form right now as of right now. I mean, I think they do play Europa League round of 16. So that is a slight advantage for Sunday of next week. And they just lost to Chelsea 4-1. So is this form going to carry over to Aston Villa? What is Carrick going to change? And Carrick has to change something because his tactics have not been working. Past few games against Crystal Palace, we needed a man down. Against Everton, it was a beautiful counter attack that got us the goal, and Lamens mostly saved us in that match with his last minute saves, right? Then against West Ham, of course, it was a last minute equalizer, and against Spurs, you could argue that until Spurs were a man down, United and Spurs were going toe to toe, and then the red card happened, and United just grabbed those 2 goals. But these victories don't feel convincing. They never felt convincing, and we saw a loss coming. It was never going to be like Michael Carrick is going to go unbeaten as Manchester United manager for the rest of the season. We knew that this was going to happen sooner or later. It happened, but in a really bad manner, which it shouldn't have been happening. And now this shows us that Manchester United do need to get a midfielder, do need that physical presence in that midfield. Kobe Manu, he was running for the ball too much. He was trying to gap the ball that it left loads of space for Casemiro to cover. And then and then he was getting completely dominated by the likes of Joel Linton and Tonali, where they were just stringing the passes, they were just carrying the ball amazingly well, they were using their physicality, and then this just shows us that Manchester United lack the physical presence in the midfield, and and getting Tonali to Manchester United would be an amazing move as of right now, because with Casemiro leaving, with Ugarte hopefully getting shipped off this summer, Sandro Tonali looks like a really good option for Manchester United, and this just and I don't know, and the fullbacks again, the fullbacks. Come on, this has been an issue for Manchester United under Carrick. I mean, Dallo had a few good moments. Luke Shaw had a few good moments this season. But the consistency of those fullbacks now, it shows us that Manchester United also need to get new fullbacks, and most likely I would like the likes of maybe Lewis Hall coming in. He had a pretty decent game today, Lewis Hall against Embuemo. I would say getting a like of Lewis Hall or like getting like a Michael Coyote. It shows us that Manchester United need to strengthen a lot in these departments. Fullbacks defensively are poor. They're not overlapping with their wingers, and then our wingers are not fully wingers. They're mostly inverting forwards. And then Bruno is creating everything by himself with no one scoring it for him. And Sesko, to be fair, today we can't blame Sesko at all. No, there were no chances being created for Sesko. And Mbemo had the ball a lot. Cunha had the ball a lot, but nothing was being created for Sesko. For God's sake, we have a 6'5" striker in the box, but no one is crossing the freaking ball in the box for 90 minutes. Like, what's the point of having a 6'5" striker if no one's gonna cross the ball? Come on, guys. Like, I'm just. And the second goal coming off of Osula, William Osula, I think that's what his name is. Yeah, William Osula, um, just going down the right, and then of all people, Tyler Malacia. Oh my God, Tyler Malacia. Well, I'm not seeing this guy in such a long time, and it just shows that his lack of fitness. It just shows the lack of games that he's played. He just gets turned around like 360. He just did a 360-degree turn, and then he got found out. And then Harry Maguire was trying to block the shot, and then he blocked the view of Saint Lamens, and then the goal went in. And then the only time Saint Lamens saw the ball was when the ball went inside. Garbage performance today. One of the worst performances of United this season. And I hope we can come back. I hope Carrick fixes his tactics, tries something different against Aston Villa. Because let's 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 not forget, Aston Villa also have a pretty physical midfield. They have the likes of Amadou Onana, and such. Right? Let's not underestimate Aston Villa because they lost 4-1 to Chelsea today. Their midfield is really physical as well. Like Amadou Onana, Douglas Luiz is not too physical, you could say, but still. And then Morgan Rogers, let's not forget, he scored a brace against us last game, and yeah, I want more from United. Just they got completely dominated from minute 1 to minute 90, and it looked like they were the one with the man down against um, Newcastle. Really bad performance. Really bad performance. Really disappointed with it. And now looking at the table, we're still third in the table, surprisingly, because Liverpool lost against uh, Wolves, was it yesterday, and Aston Villa lost today against Chelsea. So this lucky for us, we're still third in the table. And now this game could have probably sealed top four going into the next few games, but still top four looks like the most likely outcome for United, and hopefully they still Champions League football next season. But as of the Spurs, they're only 1 point off of 18th. By the way, they're 16th. They have 29 points, and then West Ham United are 18th in the relegation zone with 28 points. Spurs are generally cooked. What are their fixtures next? They play Liverpool away. They play at Anfield. They play at the Stadium of Light. And their home record this season hasn't been too great as well. They play at Anfield. They play at the Stadium of Light. They play they play at Villa Park. They play at Stamford Bridge. Oh, no. Yeah, this is fries. This is actually cooked. Yeah, I don't want to get them. I don't want them relegated, but relegation looks like a high possibility for Spurs as of right now, and I'm not expecting them to beat Atleti as well. But yeah, tomorrow they play Crystal Palace at home, so let's see how that goes. And then as of City, they drew to Nottingham Forest today, surprisingly. I mean, Haaland was not well, didn't score. I think it was Semenyo and who Rodri. Semenyo and Rodri were the ones that scored, and Elliot Anderson with a beautiful striking and amazing game. I was watching the highlights. Obviously, I wasn't watching the game. I was watching the United game. Um, Amazing performance from Elliot Anderson. If there were two midfielders that I want to come to United, it's definitely uh, Elliot Anderson and Tonali. So amazing performance from both of them today, and then hopefully I see them in a United shirt in the future. So, but it looks like City's title hopes are kind of gone, man. Like Arsenal, I mean, with playing one more game, they have 7 points. They lead by 7 points, and it looks like City are kind of out of the title race, to be honest. But we never know. But Arsenal, man, they generated point over in XG, had only 40% of the possession, with Brighton having 60% of the possession, conceding more shots. This is not football. This is not football whatsoever. And I say this, if Arsenal end up winning the Prem, this will be the worst Prem winning team of all time. Not that Arsenal is my rival, not that I hate Arsenal, but the kind of football that they're playing, man. They don't have build up. It's all set pieces, generating low XG, just playing haram. That's what people are saying, haram ball. In my opinion, they'll be the worst towering side of all time. And I want to make a separate episode talking about how football over the last 10 years have changed a lot, and how Pep, how Mikel Arteta have been changing the Prem a lot and ruining the beautiful game. Basically, that's what I want to talk about. I want to make another episode on that. So yeah, thank you for tuning in. Let me know your thoughts about the United game, your City game, Arsenal game. Who do you think is gonna win the title? Do you think is City gonna make a comeback? Just let me know. Okay. Cheers. Bye.